What's up, you guys? This is One Classic Gamer here. Welcome back to some more of The Legend of Zelda Part 111. Yes, that's right. We are doing Part 111 today, and we're actually going to be hunting down all of the Koroks in this video. Or not all of the Koroks. What am I saying? All of the Koroks in this particular region, like the Lookout Landing region, and there's a significant amount more here than there was in the Great Sky Islands. So, yeah, this is like I would say the first like major Korok video in the entire game, or in the entire playthrough. And I mean, the last one was like less than 20 Koroks. It was like 15 Koroks or so. Like really nothing. This one there's like about I would say like 50 or 60 here in this area. So it's a pretty decent amount, and the Koroks are actually not the only thing that we're doing in this video. We're also going to be doing a side quest along the way, exploring a few wells, helping a few Hudson signs out, like the Addison, helping him hold up the Hudson signs. And in the last like 15 minutes or so of this video, we're going to also be hunting down the rest of the Yiga schematics, which, yeah, I know I said we were done with that, but we're actually not done with that yet. We have I think this video, I'm gonna correct myself if I'm wrong in the future when I'm looking ahead, but I mean, I'm not going to correct myself because as soon as this video is done, it's done. It's usually how it works with these videos. But I believe we're getting the rest of them in this video. I don't think we have any more after this. The only reason I say that is because by the time we get to the end of the Yiga schematics in this video, what's it called? We only need like 300 more crystallized charges in order to fully upgrade the energy well, which I can recall that being the amount that I was at when I finished the Yiga schematics. So I believe this is the last video for Yiga schematics. I hope it is. But yeah, mostly we're doing Koroks in this video, mainly. And I mean, this region wasn't too bad. Some of them are kind of worse than others. Your main adversary when you're hunting Koroks, I would say, same adversary that you had in Breath of the Wild, is going to be the weather, like the lightning and the rain and shit at times when it's too slippery to climb around. My apologies if my commentary seems awkward as usual. I'm recording this at like 5 in the morning. But the only reason why I'm doing that is because I did record commentary for this video originally. And it just, the audio was really, really bad. Like the quality was really bad. The thing is, I forgot to unplug my headset, so the audio sounded like it had like that haze sound in the background constantly. It sounded really, really bad. I was like, I gotta redo this, as much as I don't want to, considering the fact that it's an hour-long video. And this is what I'm talking about, the rain right here, making it hard to climb certain surfaces. I was like, as much as I don't want to, it being an hour-long video, I'll just come back the next day or whenever I'm ready to redo the commentary for this. But yeah, I'm trying to see if I can get my buddy Justin to do the post commentaries with me on these videos when they come up, because right now we're still not really fully committing to the Koroks. There's gonna be a certain point where I just like fully am like, okay, gonna get all the Koroks done, and we're gonna do like 10 to 13 like Korok videos in a row basically. And then like 2 more videos after that, I'm trying to make it 2 more videos, are going to have post commentary in it. And for those, I'm going to try to see if I can get him with me as well. Excuse me, got to stay hydrated. And then after that, we're going to be on to the finale, basically, the last part, which is really exciting, you know? I'm excited to get there already and for you guys to see the finale. Yeah, but I mean, I got a little bit of a ways before we get there. A little, you know, bit of a journey before we get there to that point, obviously. With both of my playthroughs, actually, as a matter of fact. This game right now is, the videos are getting into, like, the very, very tedious category like this, where I have to do a shit ton of editing. And with Resident Evil, the RE2 remake, I won't talk too much about it because, you know, we're not playing that game. We're playing Zelda. That game, I'm kind of stuck on these DLCs right now. And there's this trophy in particular. Like, I don't want to say it's as bad as The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered's, like, no return daily run trophy. Because you can honestly, like, this challenge in this game, you can restart it whenever you want. Like, you don't get locked out every 24 hours, so you don't have to take advantage of the save files and break the game like I did. But this trophy in particular just involves basically you fighting off against a wave of zombies, and there's about 100 of them that you have to kill. And if you guys have seen my Resident Evil 2 playthrough, at least the first part, you know that that game starts you off in, like, this little, like, cramped gas station, and there's, like, a crazy, kind of creepy, intense scene that happens there. Basically, we're going to have to hold them all off in that one single location and last for the full 100 zombies. So I'm really scared and nervous about that because I know how hard that game is and how tough it can be at times. This is a well down here, by the way, that I found. I will be showing off the well exploration as well. No pun intended there, or I didn't mean to rhyme or whatever. But yeah, the reason why I'm showing it off is because, you know, it's a new area that we haven't been to, and I want you guys to see what's down there. You know, like, if you're thinking about going down there and exploring and, you know, getting everything that's down there. I mean, when it comes to, like, the exploration and stuff, like, I talk about this a lot, but I feel like the cave exploration and the wells are, like, my favorite aspect about the, like, overworld exploration. They definitely are. Like, I love exploring the caves and wells for some reason. You could just really lose time when you're down there. And this well that we're about to go down to after we do this Korok is the side quest that I mentioned earlier. So yeah, we're gonna knock this out along the way, which is nice. It's a nice feeling to get this done while we have the time. I'm gonna try to read this dialogue, but I probably won't catch all of it because I skipped through it pretty quick. The ladder! Alright. Oh my gosh, I've waited a long time for someone to rescue me. It's my own darn fault I'm here, though. Dropped something down the well and climbed in after it. I even had a ladder, but yeah, it broke when I tried to climb up. Then on top of that, my best buddy I go everywhere with should have noticed, but he didn't. He kept right on going. Come on, man, really? Sorry, not your fault. Can't tell you how happy I am that you came down here. But what now? The ladder's wrecked. I mean, the broken part is still there, so we technically could fix it if the dang ladder weren't too high to reach. So yeah, we're basically using, I was going to say magnesis for a sec. We're using, excuse me, Ultra Hand to put it back together. And that's pretty much it. That's the whole quest. It's just you and me now, stuck down at the bottom of the well. Huh? Wait, it's fixed. You're incredible. Now let's get out of here. Cool. Man, you saved me. I thought I'd be stuck in that well for the rest of my life. Seriously, I really owe you. So here, take this. And he gives us a purple ruby. I'm going to catch up with my buddy Jorah and head to Foothill Stable so we can apply for the Zonai survey team. See you around. Thanks again. And hey, don't go falling in any wells, okay? Alright, I did my best there, but it looks like when I was doing this quest, I was just more focused on the Korok, so I was just kind of skipping through the dialogue, but yeah, I'm glad that we got that out of the way. And that, I do, as you can see, set beacons on the map to kind of help myself out because I'm using a video guide here when I do these videos, and the video guide that I used, his name is Beard Bear. You can look him up. Beard Bear, Bear. He has a full like region by region guide on this game showing you where to find pretty much all of the Koroks. When I got to the end of his guide, I was missing 2 Korok seeds. And the thing is, this video right here in particular, this region that I'm doing is where one of the Korok seeds I was missing was. So I'm going to have to like double check myself and see if, what's it called? If he ever showed it in his guide, or if I just thought that I already had it and basically skipped out on it, because I've done that before. It does mark on the map when you do find a Korok, like it shows you on the map, like basically that the Korok is done and that, you found a Korok there, so I don't know, I'm gonna have to check and see. The other one that I was missing was in the Elden region, so that's not for a minute, but yeah, I would say the Elden region is one of the worst because you have Death Mountain just in your way constantly, and if you want to get on the other side of it, there's only a few points that you can like fast travel to, so this is thankfully a lot easier, a lot easier of an area to do because it's just hills and grass and whatnot. I think it was nice to start off here in this area, and there aren't any in the Sky Islands because the Sky Islands for this particular region is literally the Great Sky Islands, and we did those like 4 or 5 parts ago. So, yeah. We got another one here in the forest, and I mean, I see all these horses lying around or sitting around, and I'm just like, I should have fucking just tried to tame one of these horses. It would have made my traveling so much quicker, but I was like, no, I'll do the same thing I did in Breath of the Wild. I'll just do it the long way and then really edit the fuck out of this video. I mean, these videos, I'm going to try to do them in the similar style that I did with Breath of the Wild, where I speed everything up in between, and then when it comes to showing off the actual Korok, I slow it back down so you guys can see me getting the Korok essentially. But because there's more things to do in this game, I think you're going to see that, oftentimes I will stop to explore caves and wells and whatnot that we haven't done yet. But when I do get to, when I do fully commit to the Korok hunting in the future, I've pretty much explored all the wells and caves at that point. It's literally just the boss battles and the Hudson signs, and that's pretty much it. So you'll see me help that guy out occasionally along the way, and basically just, just get all these Koroks. This one's really funny. I didn't know that you could literally fly right into those and, like, pop those balloons in order to trigger the Korok, but yeah, now I know. And yeah, the one I was missing was up near like the Castletown like ruins. So we're gonna be getting there in a minute. There's a guy right there. I think I'm about to help him out. Hudson guy. Yeah. So I did speed a lot of this up, and pretty much just I mean, it's the same as it always is with this guy here. You're trying to make sure you can brace this thing so that when he lets go of it, it doesn't fall over. And for some reason there, it fell over, I don't know why, but yeah, it just fell over. But I just flipped this thing around and boom. Yeah, sometimes you have to also wait to talk to him for a couple seconds too. I don't know why. But yeah, I think these are fun. They're a nice little distraction. I kind of regret not going after these earlier in the game. Like, I should have tried to figure these out a while ago instead of fucking waiting all the way until now to get them, because it basically just gave me another giant list of things that I need to do. At a certain point, we are gonna hunt all of these down, the remaining ones, and yeah, it's weird because it's like the one that I ended up missing for the Hudson sign again ended up being down by like the Hyrule Castletown like ruins area. Like it's that area in particular for some reason is like the spot in this playthrough where I missed a couple of things. So we got another well down here, Mount Gustav well, and there's glowing cavefish down here, sticky lizards. Glowing cavefish are actually kind of tricky to find. I mean, I never really fully like all of the fish and whatnot. I did like at the very very end of my like the last like 5 to 10 hours or so of my grinding and whatnot. So I mean, I never really locked down a specific location of where you can find them, to be honest. I know there is a cave in particular where the glowing cavefish spawn, and there's like 5 or 6 of them that you can find. Off the top of my head, I can't really think of what that cave is, but I mean, let me just look it up because I'll just look it up for your guys' sake. If you're doing any like outfit grinding and whatnot, then this knowledge I'm about to give you will help you out. Let's see. Glowing cave fish Tears of the Kingdom. I believe it was IGN that found a pretty good spot for them. Elmo Knolls Well and Hyrule Ridge. So basically just look around the map for Hyrule Ridge, and then when you find Elmo Knolls Well and jump down there, it's one of those like wells where it's like pitch black down there, and yeah, I found like 5 or 6 of them down there. So if you're looking for glowing cavefish and you need to find any, that's where you can find a decent amount. And the fish respawn every like one in-game day cycle, which is basically 24 hours in-game, which in the game it's like an hour per minute. So in real time it's like 24 minutes for a full like in-game day cycle. So you mark down your locations for the fishes and whatnot, you get them, set some travel medallions down, and basically go and collect them, go off, do something else, and then once like 24 minutes, I would give it like 30 minutes to be honest, have passed, you go back to those locations, and more often than not the fishes will be there. A lot of the times they won't be there. Like there are some really rare fishes in the game, like the trouts in particular. Those are really annoying. I'm sure there are so many locations you can find the fishes in this game, and I was actually trying to like look through my strategy guide, which I bought solely for the purpose of creating a list for you guys of that I'm gonna read to you on the resources and everything you need for the outfit upgrades. But I'm sure on the strategy guide somewhere it does tell you where you can find the fishes and whatnot. But I haven't figured out where that is yet, to be honest. I've just kind of like casually flipped through the pages, and I don't know. I for some reason I used to love collecting strategy guides when I was younger. Just going to a GameStop and buying the game, but also getting like that Prima, like more expensive strategy guide with the hardcover. It just was like always like one of my favorite things to do. And I used to just like skim through them and flip through them and read up on all the little tips that there was for me to learn, basically. Mind you, like after I've already beaten the game. But yeah, I mean, stores don't sell strategy guides anymore, I don't think. I think you have to buy them online now because uh, either they went out of business or something. I don't know. I remember reading something or hearing something from someone that the strategy guides, like businesses, kind of went out of business. I know Prima used to be like the main, like manufacturer of the strategy guides, but I don't know. I'm not really up to date. This is the first strategy guide that I have bought for a game in 7 years since Breath of the Wild came out, so it's been a minute. Although I'll admit the strategy guide I think that I have for Breath of the Wild is a lot nicer than the one that I have for Tears of the Kingdom. Like the one that I have for Tears of the Kingdom, it's another like hardcover and it looks pretty nice, but it's not like the same quality in my opinion as like the Breath of the Wild cover, but yeah, we got another one of these guys here. Just try letting go, dude. He's like he's standing. This guy's so ridiculous. I don't know. I have a weird theory. I feel like there are a million different Addisons in this game. Because if you think about it, like, how can he be holding signs up all across the world? There has to be more of this guy, And I'm like, I see that ridiculous Dumb and Dumber haircut that he has, that Hudson has, and I'm just like, do Hudson and his people all come from like a certain village or community or something? Because why are they all wearing that freaking wig or have that ridiculous ass haircut? I don't fucking know. But I mean, that haircut was actually really stylish back in the time. It was fashionable back in the time, but now you don't really see people with hair like that anymore. But yeah, I'm making fun of an NPC. I've really gone over the deep end at this point. But, yeah, we're almost halfway through this video. Almost. And, for the most part, it hasn't been too bad so far. It's been the same as usual. And, yeah, now we're going up here near the Hylia River. I love this headpiece that I'm wearing right now. One thing I will say, I don't think I talk about it a lot, but like, I really like the graphics in this game a lot. I mean, I know it's the same as Breath of the Wild, but there are parts in this game still where I look at it, like I'm looking at the game and I'm just like, this game can be like downright beautiful and gorgeous at times, And it's just a shame that the lag is the way it is, and it's running on such old hardware that can't handle it, that technically our phones are stronger than. But yeah, it is what it is. Got these guys jumping around like a bunch of idiots. What are they doing? Literally, what are they doing? And this one. Yeah, I mean, I think this is like the most like photogenic area in the game to run around with Hyrule Castle in the background and everything. Yeah, I really miss this game, man. I know I keep talking about it, and I just tried to shield surf with the rocket attached to my shield. That was hilarious. I was watching another video of another guy talking about this game and critiquing certain aspects of it, and I got to admit, like, I kind of understand and get where he's coming from. Here, I was really struggling to get back up here. I was like, fucking climb, Link, and then I got back up. But, he was basically talking about the dungeons and how the dungeons were ultimately kind of disappointing. And you know what? I mean, now that I've kind of settled down from the hype of the dungeons and I'm not as, like, excited about them anymore, because they were literally like half a playthrough ago. Um, I think the dungeons are kind of also, yeah, I think they're kind of whatever in this game, I mean, they're a lot like Breath of the Wild. They took basically the same core element of Breath of the Wild, like what those shrines were designed around, and basically just ran with that. And they tried to make them look like more like actual like typical dungeons. Like aesthetically, they're very pleasing, but mechanically, they're kind of basic still, And I think the Lightning Temple is my favorite. I know I said back in the like part 40 or whatever, geez, feels like forever ago, that the Water Temple was like my favorite. At the time, it was my favorite, to be honest, but I didn't know that the general consensus online was that everyone hated the Water Temple and thought it was the worst temple in the game. And I guess, yeah, now that I look back at it, I can kind of see that, but it I love the build up to that temple. All of the quests and like the clues and whatnot that you have to follow, getting up to like the floating fish isles, shooting through the tier rock formation, unlocking the whirlpool underneath the water. Like that was all really really cool stuff. And I feel like they actually could have given us the dungeon down there in that area, but they didn't for some reason. Like I don't know. I do kind of agree that, it's a water temple, so it has to be underwater, and they could have really taken advantage of that with, like, the rising water level and the lowering water level as, like, a central mechanic, but instead they gave us what they gave us. And I don't hate the water temple. I'm just going to be clear right now. I don't hate any of the temples in this game. I actually love this game. I'm someone who is on that in that group of people that loves this game and thinks it's a masterpiece and that it's better than Breath of the Wild. But yeah, I do agree that maybe they could have done a little bit more with the dungeons. I think that the Lightning Temple is the best. The Fire Temple is a close second for me. The Stormwind Arc, like the Wind Temple, that one is dope too. I love the fucking build up to that, and I'm glad that that was like my first temple that I did in the game because, man, the build up to that dungeon was epic. Climbing up all those ships, seeing it in the distance, and then diving into the storm like from above into the temple was like just amazing. And then the boss Colgera, like the bosses in this game, fucking great. Like they're a lot better than they were in Breath of the Wild. I do think the enemy variety in this game is much stronger than Breath of the Wild. There are a lot more enemies in this game to fight, and I think that's a good thing because if you have a giant world and you're running around this world and you know they're putting enemies in your way, it's a lot better to fight, more unique, varied enemies than the same Guardian, like, over and over and over again. That was another thing. I will admit, I kind of missed the Guardians a little bit, even though they were a bitch to fight and they were a pain. I don't know, like, I kind of missed them, and I would love to fight. I would have loved to fight at least one of the Guardians in this game, but narratively, if you think about it, this game isn't about the Sheikah, which is pretty much what the last game was about. It was about like the lore and everything. It was all about like the Sheikah and the lost Sheikah tech and all of that, and the shrines and everything, and the towers. And this game is more about the Zonai, and yeah, and I guess I knew Eiji Onuma, the director and whatnot. He basically said that what it was like, when the upheaval happened, all of the Sheikah tech just kind of mysteriously vanished, which, if we're being honest, a lot of people have commented on this. It's kind of a lazy answer, a kind of a lame answer, the fact that they didn't really fully address our criticisms there, they kind of just were like, oh yeah, it just disappeared with the upheaval. It doesn't seem like the Zelda team is as caring of that stuff anymore, like the story and continuity and whatnot. They really just want to give us a full, like, open experience, you know, and basically tie the story in with that, you know, like, and I kind of get that, you know, but I don't know. I don't really care. It doesn't bother me that much because, you know, it's a sequel, and why would you want the same, everything to be the same, you know? I want certain elements to be different, you know, and I'm glad that they took, like, more of, like, a time travel, like, focus and whatnot with the story and made it more about the past, you know, directly affecting the present, because every event that happens in the past is, you know, involves the Zelda from now that we know, who's been sent back into the past. So to us, it's automatically relevant, you know. And I personally, I felt, you know, if you look up online, you know, people's reactions to the story, to this game, it's very mixed. There are some people like me who love the story and think it's a strong story. There are other people who think the story is poorly told, you know, and you know, it's a good story, but it's poorly executed. And I can definitely see both sides, to be honest. You know, I'm in a neutral position now that I've finally beaten this game and I'm just focusing on editing and uploading. I can kind of look back at certain aspects of this game, but I don't know. I mean, no matter what, like, this game will always be a 10 out of 10 to me, just like Breath of the Wild. And it's few things that I have to complain about are just, you know, completely outweighed by everything else, you know, so excuse me. Now we're doing the Hyrule Castle town ruins. I've been a little sick, by the way, so I apologize if I'm coughing in this video. It's not because I'm a pothead. I mean, it is somewhat that, but, like, it's mostly because I've had a little bit of a throat thing for the past, like, week or so. But I had a lot of trouble picking this up, by the way. This area in particular, I had a lot of trouble with in Breath of the Wild. Like, I remember this was, like, the one area for some reason where I just, like, struggled to find all of the fucking Koroks, you know, because, like, the area is so confusing and everything, but for some reason I didn't have as much trouble finding them here, I would say. Like, I got them generally a lot quicker than I did in Breath of the Wild, which it seems like I got them a lot quicker. I don't know how much time I actually ended up spending here, but, you know, this footage is all sped up, so in the end it's going to be like 10 minutes of the video, and this is pretty much the last area that we're doing the Koroks. The rest of the video is going to be what I mentioned in the beginning, you know, the Yiga schematics and Yiga hideouts, yeah, so this guy was really pissing me off because he wouldn't stay still and I was having trouble getting him for some reason. And yeah, I mean, out of all the videos that I'm doing this week, out of all the batches of videos that I'm doing this week, this is the first video that I chose to work on because I knew it was going to take me a really long time to get this done. And this is kind of like the first time that I'm editing these videos out of order, but, you know, they're going to be uploaded in order, obviously. So I haven't even edited the last video yet, the one where I did all of the cave exploration, which is what it looks like I'm doing in that video, and yeah, I'm gonna have to do commentary for that as well. I mean, I think for me, like, I won't get too into it because it's personal, but, you know, emotionally and mentally at the time when I was at this point in the playthrough, you know, I had just quit my job and walked out of my job, so I had to get another job, and, you know, I found my other job, but it ended up being really, really, like, difficult in the beginning to figure it out and, like, get good at it, and I was just going through a really stressful time. There were certain people that were pissing me off in my life at the time, and yeah, their shit just honestly was not, it came at the wrong time, you know, and it really interfered with me and my mental health, I feel, you know. I guess what I can say for all youngsters out there under the age of 20, you know, or in their young, you know, 20s, because I'm like 26 now. When I did Breath of the Wild, I was fucking 19. Now I'm 26. And I feel like I've learned so much in just the past like few years. Don't let people fucking tear you down, basically, essentially. I know that's a very cliche thing to say, but like, if there's someone in your life that you feel like you're stuck with and that, you know, you can't get away from, and their shit is just like, you know, annoying you constantly, like they're everything about them is like, I'm not gonna say everything about them, it's complicated, but like, don't ever feel like you did anything wrong. If you can acknowledge the fact that you've made mistakes, then you're one of those people that can grow and move forward. If you're someone who can't acknowledge your mistakes and you're doing the whole like victim thing, like I did nothing wrong, it was all you. And when I say all you, I'm talking about me in this particular instance. You know, those people are never going to grow. They're never going to grow. Because if you think about conflicts and the things that, you know, cause us to like drift apart from each other, you know, friendships and whatnot, conflicts in friendships is what I'm trying to say. I'm doing a horrible job, you know, giving advice to you guys, but most of the time it's not just one side, it's both sides, you know, like it can't just be one person for it to be a problem, you know, it needs to be both sides, you know. And for me at the time, like I was just really messed up mentally because I was trying to adjust to this new job that was really, really difficult for me, and I didn't feel like I had the right to complain about it because I had walked out on my previous job, and I'd literally done it to myself. Like, it was, you know, it all could have been avoided, but I did it all to myself, you know, and I never complained about it, and, you know, that stress and everything just kind of led to me making mistakes that I can admit were mistakes in front of people that, you know, I was around constantly at the time. And, you know, like, ultimately they called me out for it, you know, but they called me out for it in a way that made me feel really, really bad about myself. Like I was just the shittiest human being in the world, that I had done something so fucking wrong. And don't ever let people get you to that point. If you feel like you did nothing wrong, really, and or maybe you did, but like it wasn't that wrong, you know, but everyone else around you is saying, no, it was really fucking bad that you did that, or this or that, or, you know, just like crucifying you, like making you seem like the devil for doing what you did. You need to get away from those people, ultimately. Get away from those people, cut them out of your life, because at the end of the day, there are people in your life that are going to be insecure about certain things, and they're gonna tell you that they're gonna literally like try to get you to change your behavior just because they're not comfortable with it. You know, it's literally like, it's just, I don't know. I'm not, all I can really say is at the time, to bring it back to what even started this conversation to begin with, but at the time of me recording this, I was literally going through that, you know, at the time. And I feel like I just, for some of these videos, was so stressed out that I didn't really know how to give proper commentary. It's hard to give commentary when mentally you're just like not there, you know, like, but yeah, don't waste your energy on people like that who are constantly shooting you down for every little thing that you do, instead of telling you like politely, like, hey man, like what you did was I wasn't necessarily comfortable with that. Instead, these people were literally like telling me like, you know, what you were doing was not cool, you know, the person I brought over here was so scared and everything. I'm not gonna have my friends around you anymore because of that. And I just think that is such fucking toxic ass fucking behavior. And literally, like, I should stop talking about this because I'm still so like so worked up about this. Like over a year later, I'm still so worked up about this because I can acknowledge that, yeah, what I did was yeah, not really the coolest thing to do, but it wasn't the worst thing in the fucking world like they all made it out to be. And those people ultimately both cut me off and are no longer in my life, and they have refused to acknowledge that they even did anything wrong. They're literally making it out like I was the villain all along. And I just don't think that is the right way to handle that. If you're going to tell someone that you weren't comfortable with what they did, there's a better way to do it instead of fucking just alienating that person and like making them seem like they're just a piece of shit. And honestly, like, I don't know, I need to stop talking about it because I'm getting worked up about it. And if I do keep talking about it, then I'm gonna start naming names, and I don't want to fucking get to that point where I'm naming names because it would literally make your guys' jaws drop. You'd be like, what? Really? But yeah, it's just honestly what I was going through at the time, and ultimately I've learned, there's just one guy that I've watched, he's called Fury the Film Fan, and he did a video talking about Chris Stuckman and how Stuckman is really not a good person actually. He seems like a really nice person, that he's like doing a lot, and he's making a lot of exciting stuff happen in his life, and it's he's growing as a channel. But listening to his experience, like what he had to say, I was just like, yep, I no longer respect this person or like this person. I feel like this person is not someone that I would want to be around personally, because he sounds just like these people that I'm referring to that will literally cut you off in an instant without a single explanation, for the dumbest shit. And here we got the Dusk Bow, which is like basically I figured I would show that because I thought that was pretty interesting. But yeah, he basically, the Fury the Film Fan, said in his video that if someone is trying to share their experience with you or talk about their feelings or emotions, and the other person just can't relate, and because they can't relate, they're shooting you down or invalidating you or your opinion because they can't relate to it, so it's automatically not relevant to you. Like, honestly, fuck off. Those are toxic ass people that you don't want to have in your life. Everyone wants and needs to be heard at the end of the day by someone. And if someone is sharing their experience to you and you can't relate to it, but you want to be there for them and you want to be a friend, you want to be supportive, don't say anything. Just listen to them. Don't fucking say anything. Don't give any advice. Just listen. Let them be heard, and then tell them, I'm sorry, like, you're gonna figure this out, you're gonna work your way through this. But I don't know why I'm getting so fucking congested. I am so sorry, you guys. But yeah, I mean, I feel like 2023 for me was like the last year of me having like toxic people in my life. And I just feel like for most of my life I've been surrounded by people like that who are so adamant that their way of living is, the only right way, and will literally shoot me down for anything else that I do if it goes against what they do and what, their core philosophies in life are. I know I'm being very vague, but yeah. Now we're doing the Yiga schematics. Back onto Zelda. Gosh, I don't know what happened there. This whole episode just turned into a fucking, like, therapy session for the past like 20 minutes. But yeah, I believe we are now actually clearing all of these out finally. I don't think we got all these before, but now we are getting all of these. And if we do come back to these again in the future, I apologize, but I believe we're getting the rest of these in this video, so yeah, I enjoy doing these. These are kind of fun, you know. They remind me of like those like outposts and whatnot that you have to like take down in like you know, like Far Cry or like Horizon or something. I mean, it's typical open world stuff, but the thing about this game is they give you a bunch of rewards for literally everything you do. You get some sort of reward, and that I think is great because it makes the journey feel worth it in the end. You know, it doesn't feel like a waste of time. But yeah, I actually get some pretty lucky shots in this particular portion of the video where I'm doing these. There's one shot in particular where I get this guy on like a hovercraft, and it's like the perfect fucking shot. But yeah, man, I don't really know what to say at this point. I'm gonna have to do post commentary for the last video too, and I don't really want to. But it's the nature of the game. I knew exactly what I was signing up for with this game, getting into it, you know, so I can't complain anymore. I'm literally in the thick of it at this point. I mean, I'm more worried about that RE2 stuff. You know, I haven't fully gotten this week's batch of videos done yet for RE2. I want to try to at least get the DLCs done, you know. And if I can't get that really impossible trophy, then I'm not gonna like trip out. I'll just like start my own like playthrough, like third and fourth playthroughs for the game. And this is hilarious because I used the electric device to fucking shock that guy. But yeah, I'll start like my third and fourth playthroughs with Leon and Claire again. I'm gonna try to see if I can get the rest of the trophies in those third and fourth playthroughs. And yeah, that's a really interesting game. I love that game a lot. I'm glad that I'm playing through it. Although I will say that my hype for it has kind of died down a little bit now that I've beaten both stories. You know, the last few hours of that game are really fucking annoying. They're really, really annoying. On hardcore difficulty especially, it's just like, man, like, it's challenging, and it's challenging in a way that's, like, not even fun either. You know, it's just, like, frustrating. You know, like, the boss battles, the whole, like, lab section that you have to go through, where you have to create the mixture of like the chemicals and everything, like that shit just fucking sucks. And the William Birkin fights, I hate those so much. You guys have no fucking idea how much I have raged while fighting Birkin, man. Like that guy has pissed me off so many times, and I'm not looking forward to going back and fighting him again, you know, 2 more times, which I'm gonna have to. But you know, it is what it is. I do think the start of RE2, like the first half of that game, is strong. Like it is like pure survival horror. You going through the police station and everything. Even like the sewers. I like the sewer section too. It's just when you get to the Umbrella Lab, that's when that game just kind of drags ass. And doesn't really... It slows down considerably and isn't as fun and entertaining to play through anymore, I would say. It's more frustrating than anything. Yeah, sorry, I'm just thinking about things to say and I can't for some reason. So you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to take my first hit because I haven't taken a single hit in this video. Excuse me. Um, but yeah, like that game is actually really challenging. I can't even lie, and I don't know. I'm at a point where I kind of want it to be over, and I kind of want it to be done. And it's probably not going to be done for another couple weeks. And then after that, I mean, you guys all know what I'm going to be doing after that because I've talked about it plenty of times. After that, I'm going to be playing through Alan Wake 2 again on Nightmare Mode and finally seeing that different ending, getting the rest of the collectibles in that game, and I'm really excited about that. I'm hoping that, you know, around the time that I play through that game, that they release at least one of the DLCs for us because they keep telling us, Remedy, that they're giving 2 DLCs for us, and they said that DLC 1 is going to come out around springtime, and it's not really springtime anymore. Springtime is almost over, actually. You know, so it's just kind of like, really? You know, like, you guys can't even keep your word at this point. But, yeah, I'm hoping that we get that first DLC soon so I can do it alongside with the rest of this game, and yeah, when that second DLC comes out, I'm probably just going to, what's it called? Either live stream it or just get it all done in like 1 or 2 solid recording sessions and edit the whole thing in a couple weeks, and that'll be it for my channel for a decent amount of time. I can't say if I'm gonna be back or not, or if I will, when I'll be back. I really can't say. Like I said, I've been really wanting to continue this game, or not this game, this channel with new playthroughs. After I'm done with this stuff, and I mean, maybe in a couple of months or like the rest of the year, like maybe next year, if I'm in a better position, I'll be open to it. You know, like resuming my channel and doing more playthroughs again and actually trying to make my channel grow at this point, you know, but right now I just am focused on getting this game done ultimately and moving on to other things, more important things in my life at the moment that I need to focus on, like following my passion, you know. I would have loved to have gotten this channel to a point to where I could have like started making money off of it and I started getting viewers and whatnot, but I feel like that would have just taken that is not something that's going to happen overnight unless you hire a bunch of unless you buy a bunch of bots basically, or use a bunch of bots, or you know, buy views basically. And at that point, are you really making back, you know, any money? No, you're not. You know, like, it's disingenuous, and it's also just like you're not making any money really when you're doing that. I mean, I think about it all the time, and I've got like 1,700 videos on my channel. If my channel blew up and my videos made like, you know, 1,000,000 views each, I would, honestly, I'd be balling. You know, I'd have a lot of money. I'd be chilling. I wouldn't need to work again, ever again, but, you know, sadly, my channel never got to that point. But I'm still grateful that I have had the experience that I've had to work on it and do all of this stuff. Like, I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I'm not gonna say I would do it all over again, but I mean, I guess I would do it all over again. But still, like, you know, it I don't regret this channel at all, and I feel like having this channel is important for me because I feel like someday this channel is going to blow up and make a bunch of views. I am hopeful about that. It just won't be anytime soon, you know. So yeah, it is what it is. We got like 6 minutes left in this video, and I'm really struggling to keep my commentary going here. What's this Yiga schematic gonna be for? Let's see. What are you? Beam spinner? What? Interesting. Yeah, I want to say we got the rest of the Yiga schematics in this video, but it looks like where we're at on the map, it doesn't look like we're fully done with them yet. We might have a few more left. I don't know. Don't quote me on that, but yeah, we're just gonna have to wait and see ultimately. Unbearable cold. What? How did that happen? Yeah, I'm like 90% sure that we got all of the Yiga schematics in this video. Or finished them off at least. Water freezer. I really feel like I should have used some of these. Maybe I'll do a bonus video. Maybe I won't. Honestly, probably not. But, yeah, it looks like we're going up the right side of the map now, so we're getting there with these. I wish they made it a little bit more, like, involved to get that door unlocked. Like, maybe they could have made you fight a little bit more enemies than just, like, one or two. Because it seems like when you always kill that one enemy that they want you to kill, like, boom, you already, like, automatically have the whole door unlocked, you know? But this game was already long enough as it was for me, so I guess it's good that some things are brief and shorter. The Koroks, by the way, I will say with the Koroks, I initially thought that there were more locations for the Koroks in this game, but there actually isn't, because in the last game there were 900 Koroks, so there were 900 different locations for the Koroks. This game has 1,000 Koroks, but 100 of them are the ones where you gotta help that Korok get back to his, like, basically reunite with his companion. And for those ones, you actually get 2 Korok seeds, and there are 100 of them throughout the game. So you do the math, you know, 200 Korok seeds, 100 locations just for those alone. There's actually 100 less locations for Koroks in this game, which instead of 900, there's 800 locations. But those, you know, those partner Koroks do take a little bit longer to do, and I feel like, do I have my window closed? Okay, I do. I'm sorry if you guys hear any noises right now. But there's actually, you know, less, and it equals out, though, I would say. But, yeah. Gosh, can this video be over yet? Why is the last 2 minutes of the video, like, the worst fucking part? Yeah, I don't think we're done. I think we still got more Koroks to do. Or more, not more Koroks, more Yiga hideouts to do. But, yeah. I basically end the video off by upgrading my energy well, like I said. And we only got 300 more to fully upgrade our shit. Technically 167 left. And then our energy well will be, like, fully upgraded. So, I mean, that's pretty much all I have for you guys in this video. We covered a lot. This original recording sesh was 3 hours and 17 minutes, so it was pretty lengthy and a lot to get through, but I edited it in a couple of days pretty much, and yeah, now we're just going to be going to rest, and I believe next time on this game we're going to be doing more side quests again, but we're going to be doing entertaining side quests, I believe. I don't think they're going to be like the... Actually, I'm not going to say that because I don't know. I haven't looked through the footage yet, so I know, don't quote me. But we're going back to side quests in the next video, and yeah, it's gonna be fun. It'll be fun, hopefully. Yeah, Blood Moon spawn. So that's pretty much the end of this video. I've got nothing else for you guys at this point. If you enjoyed this, please comment, like, subscribe, share it with your friends. And yeah, like I said, next time on Tears of the Kingdom, we will be continuing with the side quest. So, I'll see you guys then. Peace.